Hello, family. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. Another new week coming up. New week, new opportunities, and new liquidity as always. Hopefully, you've spent your weekend well and you found reasons why you closed your week the way you closed it. For those who watched the outlook that we shared on Sunday, you realize that a number of the pairs, except BTC, which was super slow, the rest played out super well. So we've been doing this, we will do this, and nothing will stop us. So I want us to have a quick review, just simple review, and then I share my thoughts on what is likely to happen this coming week. So without wasting much of your time, we're looking at DXY weekly chart. Remember last week, this was our logic. So I told you that we want to see price come up, respect 50% of this week or the lower quad, and that is what exactly happened there. So it respected the lower quad, and also we had this gap here, which was what? An inversion, sorry, balanced price range, depending on how you're viewing that gap there. So price previous week did that, rejected that candle there, and then also never body closed above this fair CB. So last week I told you my objective was to see price rally lower to this low and all that. At least we achieved more of our anticipation. So this being a weekly chart, if you drop lower to a daily chart, you realize that it was super beautiful. So in this weekly chart, you can still see that we have more liquidity. On the sell side, we have this low. This low here is a good low to watch. Again, this low here. Yeah, so as we go to lower time frames, in short, I'm bearish on DXY this coming week. Daily chart, very beautiful. Look at that. So price actually respected that gap CB, and also if you look at this up close candle, this series of up close candle before this dump here, if you take your line and draw this from here all the way to here, you realize that price almost tagged our level, but very narrowly, but we still had a reason to continue lower. If you take your fib, so I can remove these lines now from there. If you take your fib from this swing high here to this swing low here, in that range, remember I told you I want to see price come to our optimal entry level, and then do what? Dump lower. So we had a very nice clean price action here, which actually I believe you saw that and you took advantage of this market. So in the daily chart, we had this candle up close here, which actually took out these lows here, filled this gap here to an order block there, then price closed below that candle at this level here. When is this? This is on Monday. So look at this one here. So price closing below there, that now becomes our change in state of delivery or order block. Beautiful. So from here, then my eyes were these lows, which I am targeting this coming week. So I want to see price lower. So you look at this candle here, what price did on the daily chart. So we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It did something there. You see, we had a gap there. You see that? when price, so this Wednesday, Thursday, internal range liquidity to what? External range liquidity. Beautiful. From the fair value gap to this swing low here, and price did well. So I'm looking at these lows and the logic behind that. I want to see price open to this order block there and then start to go lower, but I want you to be careful. The way it opens tells you the story, so you don't need to cram ideas. Okay, so this candle here, I want to see price come to 50% or slightly tagging this, the low and the open of this candle there, because this candle has engulfed this, so this is a bearish order block. So what I want to see is price open to somewhere in those levels, and then we start to see it what do or go to our target down here. So that is my profile at this coming week. So remember, when we started off sharing these videos, I told you that the most sensitive part of an order block, if we are bearish, is the low and the open of that candle there. So for higher probability lower prices, I don't want to see price going all the way up then no, I want to see price coming to this level here, and then from there, then now we can have our lower price targeting this sell side liquidity, this sell side liquidity. Look at the 4H, so same case scenario there. So we wait and see how it opens, and then we move lower. So you see we have a very nice high, low, higher low. That is the last down close candle. That is our mitigation block. So I'm still bearish, super bearish on DXY as I target these lows down here. So, and probably you also have to consider other things. Remember, we said the down close candles in a bullish market, when price closes below them, they should support lower prices. You see, like this one here. So as you think of price going to 50% or the lower and the open price of that bearish order block, you also have to consider this series of down close candles on the buy program. When we are selling, they are supposed to do what? Support price low, and you see price broke there. So if it comes up again, fails to go there, but from there it rejects, that is still okay. Remember, you don't have to act. The market will always give you a reason to act or to behave in a certain manner. So in other words, or in simple terms, I am bearish on DXY, and these are the levels I want to see price tag. So I believe that is well, simple, taken care of. You don't have to be worried too much. Okay, so let's see how the market opens, but my interest is in this sell side liquidity. That's said and done. Let's now look at, before we look at GU and EU, let's look at USD JPY, because directly correlated with this one. So we go to the weekly chart. So now that I am bearish on the XY, I'm also bearish on this one. But before we come to what is current, we go back to what I told you last Sunday. I told you that I want to see price, and now the previous week did manipulation to a key level. So I told you that this current week we are doing what? Dropping. In fact, I wanted to drop to this level, and now what do you see down here? Very smooth lows. So my interest is down here. Very key if you look at it keenly. So we have a high, low, high, high. The last down close candle there, that is was a break, and you see price rejected there, came down, one move up again, high, low, higher low, OTE there, then price dumped lower. All this series of up close candles, price closes below them. What is that? That is a bearish order block. You see that? sweet. Now, down is where my interest is on USD JPY. If you look at the daily chart, on the daily chart, remember I took this trade. Reason being, look at this here. Let's dissect this a bit before we give room to what is to happen next week. So you see, we have what? I want you to be good listeners here. What is that? Buy side, right? The last up close candle taking this liquidity into a key level. When price does what? Closes below here. What is that? An order block. If you look at it closely, you will realize that price actually retraced into that order block. You see that? And then it did what? Pumped lower. When is this? On Tuesday. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, destroying this low here, and we still have more sell side liquidity for lower prices. So the same thing again here. If you look at this candle here, I want you to consider this open and this low here. That is the most part of that order block that you need to consider. It's most sensitive. So I also want to see price do what? Open to that order block, and then we see it take out these lows. There's nothing cast on the stone. Remember, we are only responding to what the market offers. Okay, so how did I catch this move here? If we go to the 4-hour time frame, love this one. So I wanted to see it down here. We still have more liquidity down here. So in the 4H, this is beautiful. I want you to go to your charts and also mark this one. So when USD took out this high, dollar took out this high here, this one failed. That was SMT. Okay, now what is this? This last down close candles there, the series of up close candle, if you draw, that is an order block. If you consider this high, low, and lower high, the last down close candle there, that is a mitigation block. Beautiful, right? So I was in this scenario here in the 1-hour time frame. You see that? So when price is responding, when price was buying, it's now selling. Any down close candle here is support price lower. So like this one, when price closed below that, price went lower. This one down close candle, when price closed below that, came up to retest it and then pumped lower. This is beautiful. This is super good. So you see, even 1 hour, price destroyed this high low here, left an imbalance which was filled, and then it got choppy as it closed the week. So I want you to have a clear picture like that. So as we are looking for that daily order block, the low and the open, I also want you to consider this 4-hour fair value gap. See that? So consider that too. So I want to see price open into this, and then we go lower all the way down to our key levels down here. So we have this sell side here. We also have this major relative equal lows down here from the daily time frame. So this is what I have in USD JPY, and I feel that it's a trade worth taking interest and being patient enough to see price behave, and you can secure your trade from here. So be patient and let the market do its will. That's said and done. Now we can look at GU and EU. We can start with EU. If you go to the weekly chart, for those who spend their time to watch the outlooks, they enjoy a lot seeing these things print like magic. So as dollar is poised to go lower, I am here and I'm looking for buys on this pair here. So Just a simple recap, these two lines here is this fair value gap here, which is my next target, and also this high here. But before we jump to targets, what do we have? Price responded to this fair value gap there. It went higher. Same thing happens. Price responded to this fair value gap here fully, and then did what? Went high. You realize that it never did what? Closed below this fair value gap. Okay, then we hit an energetic move. So this coming week, the first target is here. Second target, this fair value gap here on the daily chart. I love this one. So we see we hit this weekly fair value gap, price responding from there. And I want to give you something. So this last down close candle here, when price closes above that, what is that? An order block, right? Cool. Now look at what happened here. So this is Monday. Tuesday closes above it. What did we say? These weeks are what? Gaps. Okay, something to go and train your eye to see that. Okay, now when Tuesday closes above there, I want you to go to 4H and you will be amazed. Man, I'm buying this next week a lot, up to here, up to this gap up there, if we can find enough energy for price to go all the way higher. Okay, you realize I can remove this one here now, but let me use a line. There is a reason why. Let me use a thick line. That thick line represents the weekly fair value gap there. Now I drew your attention last week to this lows here. We had this fair value gap where price was responded from on Friday, on Friday the previous week. So the Monday opens, goes high, comes back. Look at what is here. This was a clean price action. I believe you impressed this one. So from this low to this high, what is this? Take your fib, week to week of this range. What is that? A very beautiful optimal trade entry that we call OTE, right? Which day is this one? On Friday, the previous week. Okay, and then price pumped high on Monday, left what? An imbalance. Okay, so my work is now here. Can zoom in here now. Now as price is closing above, remember this was the order block, and this thick line is what? The fair value gap. So price responds from this fair value gap the same way it responded on DXY. You see there was too much choppiness there on Tuesday, but at last it left that zone. Comes back. What do we have here? The last down close candle here, as price breaks above, that is what? An order block. And this line here also represents the premium side on a level of the weekly fair value gap. You see that? So we still have potential for price to do what? To push higher to these levels there. So when it comes to Euro USD, in simple terms, I'm bullish. Look at what is here. So we see price is responding from this order block and the fair value gap, and then it closes above this series of down close candles. What is that? That is a fair value gap. So price came down to fill this gap here, but you can see the rejection. You see that? You see the rejection. It closed above these down close candles, confirming that that was a very strong bullish order block. So all I want to see here is higher prices. So it cannot open slightly down to this candle here, and then does what? To see it go higher to these levels, and even higher, and even higher to this fair value gap here. So but this move here, you can catch this one. That is super enough for you. I'm bullish for Euro USD, no doubts. Unless things change, we will respond as per what the market will offer us. So to me, this is clean. I anticipate price to pump higher from here. So we wait and see what the market will offer next week. Done and dusted. Let's look at GBP USD. Where is GU? Good. Same case scenario. I'm giving you small recaps and then the current price on what I anticipate to do. So you see that we had last Sunday I shared this one, so we had this SMT price respecting this 50% of this fair value gap. The bodies are above, went higher, came back. What is this? Another BC. Went higher, came back. What is this? Another. So last week this is what we had, and I told you that I want to see price go higher because the previous week we had manipulation, very clear, feeling the whole of this fair value gap, but the bodies remained above there, a sign that we are going higher. So look closer, we have this high, this high, this high. All these are low resistance liquidity run, so I expect price to pump higher there. But last week we nailed it, man. We smoked this one, and that was very beautiful, easy, without too much noise. So if we go to the daily chart, beautiful. Look at that, look at that, look at that, man. You see, so we had a very clean manipulation there. Last down close candle there, order block, price got choppy a bit and then decided to show us the way. So the 4 hour is always clear for me, so I want you to look at this. So we had Monday there, we had Tuesday. Oh, where is Tuesday? No. So this is Monday. I draw this all the time. I draw them manually because when you draw them from the daily like this, if you start to draw them from the daily, so this is Monday there, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. When you go to 4H, somebody was asking me why am I using the 1700, but all the time I'm always using the open price on Monday 1 p.m. or 12. So that is what I usually do. For those who are asking why their prices are different. So we hit Thursday and then Friday opens there, then we hit a price higher. So I want you to consider this. So we hit this low. You see this series of down close candle here? That is changing instead of derivative, but I'm more inclined to this last down close candle here. See this one here, the thick down close candle that took out liquidity as an order block. Price comes back inside the order block. What else do we have? Here, this fair value gap here. You see that? And then you see price play it around there, and then decided to do what? To exit after taking out this low here. Boom. Same thing you saw DXY do. You have that one. So we have Monday. What is that? Consolidation, manipulation, and then from here is just holding your trades to, and price is not going to reverse until we go to those key levels that we mentioned all the time. So all this was a sign of higher prices. If you open your 1 hour chart, so you can see that there was choppiness on Monday, Tuesday taking out this low. Let me zoom in here. So we had Monday. What is this? Accumulation. What is this? The Judah swing, manipulation. And then we had what? Expansion higher. Price came down to this high here. That is a breaker. You see what? So on Wednesday, tapped there, went to consolidate. On Thursday, came down once more, and then from here now we had what? A pump higher on Friday. We almost got to our target, but so this coming week I believe we will have a very clean price action on the upside. So this fair value gap here has my interest before we go higher. So if by any chance you look at the daily, we only hit a very strong expansion, so I expect some retracement. If we can get some retracement down to this fair value gap here, and then now we can see price pump higher. So this has my interest, drop to go higher, but we will always find a clear reason to what level we are going to react from. You don't have to panic. It is always going to give you a chance to to go higher. So I traded this one on Tuesday. I also traded this move high on Friday. So those were two clear trades. If you go to 15 minutes, the entries are always there. So, and I shared those entries on my X space. So opens low, taking out the previous day low, that is liquidity there. You wait price to close above this series of down close candle there, and then you do what? You buy that. You remember, people started to change their bias when they saw that this was a top. People started to sell, but I wasn't even ready to do that. And that's why I tweeted that if you are stopped out the way AUDUSD stopped me out, you don't need to change your bias so quickly. Always trust your higher time frame. You see, you've been stopped in 1 hour, not in the daily chart. So why rush to change your bias very fast because of one loss? That was I saw that. I couldn't comment. I just wanted people to learn that patience is a virtue that needs to be cultivated each and every single week as you play around with the charts. This is super clean. This high here is what has my interest this coming week. So around 37,493 there. I want to see how we can get there. If it doesn't behave like that and we have a body close below this, then we change our bias. Can think of coming down to these lows here. But I am heavy bullish on this one unless the worst case scenario happens. All right. So that is a small token on a GBP USD. So we've done DXY, GBP USD, Euro USD. You've done USD, JPY. Then I can look at USD CHF. I want to do with the dollar correlated pairs. Then I can look lastly at the Euro JPY. So for now, let's look at USD CHF. These things are clean and clear if you know what you're looking for. So if you look at your weekly chart, same case scenario here. Very beautiful price action. I love this one. So the previous week we did a very nice price action here. So you see, this was not a reversal. You see, when you look at this price, it is not yet ready to do what? To reverse. You see, we still have more liquidity down here. We have 50% of this. Let me show you something here. We have 50% of this gap. You see that? Yep. I'm calling the weaker gap because you've been here long enough, you know why. If you don't worry. So you see 50% is also forming the swing low here. So we have a target, the swing low, and 50% of this week on far right left. So price opened the previous week to what? What is that? Immediate rebalance. So that is an immediate rebalance. So price is doing well there. Let's have it top 12. You see that? So price pumped lower, came down up to this, the low of this candle there, and rejected that. That is why I'm calling it an immediate rebalance. To be honest, I can't find a reason why I should buy this market. So I'm lower to this low here, which is almost close proximity to what? To the 50% of the wick that we had there on the far left. So this is good. On you can also have this low here taken out. At least we have a number of sell side liquidity that we can target. So on daily, beautiful. Look at that. Isn't it amazing? It is, huh? Cool. So what we have here, you show me to take advantage of this pair. How? Look at what we have here. What is this? A fair value gap. Okay. What was here? Buy side liquidity. Which candle took out that buy side liquidity? This candle here. If you take the open there, you close it like that. That becomes what? An order block. Minus OB. And middle right. You see that? Inside that order block, what do we have? Hello. That is what? A fair value gap. So, sorry, I need to change the color here. Soft dark, yeah. So we hit that fair value gap, and we see price going in and rejecting this fair value gap and the order block. Then what happens? So when this candle closes, this is a daily chart. I was in the 4-hour chart trying to see. So you see this lows has my interest, to be honest, and as if dollar pumps lower, this is a trade that can get you out of that drawdown that you're trying to struggle with. I do not want to hold it all the way down because we were almost closing the wick. Okay, so you see this is good. You see, take this high, this low, and this high there. Take your fib week to week. You realize that was a super clean optimal trade entry for continuation low lower. Okay, so take 1 hour, and then I want to show you now where my entries were. You see what I'm doing? That's what I do. Simple, precise, no formal, no stress. Each and every single day. If you've been here long enough, you don't have to stress. So what do you have here? I want you to bring to your attention something before we see this one. So this here is on Thursday. Okay, then we hit Friday here. So I want to open your eyes on Thursday, which was on the 2nd 00. What do we have there? Price opens high. Okay, then I have told you that this high, low, higher high, what is that? OTE level. Okay, but if you remove this dark or shaded part here, I want you to open your eyes and see this, right? And also see this. What is that? A fair value gap. Okay, when price rejects this one here, I wasn't around the charts. I could have taken this straight up here, last up close candle, taking out this short-term high into a key level. When price closes above, that is a change in state of delivery. That's a CSD. That's another block. Okay, and then from there, what happens? Hello. So this was an entry, very clean entry there. Stop loss above there. Then price comes down, and then leaves 1 hour fair value gap here. You see, when price is, you see it was trying to get to there, reject, get to there, reject, but you can't sell just because of fear. You wait until price tags it. Okay, then it played around us here, remember, and then it gave us a very sweet run to our take profit. This is clean. This is clean. Okay, so I'm still not yet done with the lower prices. If you go to the daily chart and the 4-hour chart, we still have reasons to do what? To continue. Take out this low here. Okay, so let me remove this so many lines here so that we can now have a clear chart to work with. Okay, same way I talked about the XY. This is sweet. This is sweet. You see, this was a fair value gap that price respected, and then it closed below this up close candle. So this is a bearish order block. So what do? We have said that we want to see price remain heavy here, the open and the low. So if we can find a move that is opening into this, and then we can see it lower, the better. What it calls for? Patience. So I'm bearish on this USD CHF all the way to these lows here. That's said and done. As always, allow me to do one more USD card. We took sales on USD card. You see, last week I capitalized on the dollar pairs because we had a very clean price that actually was super good. See that? So these charts, I'm viewing them from different time frames. So you can see all the way down here we have this low, we have these lows here. So downside moves are significant for me at the moment. Okay, so we have this fair value gap here. What happens? It's a weekly profile. So the previous week, we had so much consolidation. The previous week took out this high and filled the internal range liquidity in the form of a fair value gap. So what I was anticipating last week was lower prices. We saw that. If we go to our daily chart, you will be amazed, man. Low. So this low here has my interest this coming week, and even lower, depending on how the market will deliver. So if you look at this price action here, so this was my target here. We had already taken liquidity into a key level. If you look at this one, we can refine this one to now that daily CB there. You see that? And what do we say? We had liquidity here. You have to see these things. This short-term high there was taken by this candle here. So when price closes below this candle here, that is an order block. So you have to be paid. You see all this noise until body closed below, and this was on Tuesday. So Monday, rejected. This fair value gap I did not even think about this fair value gap to support higher prices. I had closed that. I couldn't afford to confuse myself. Why? Because we are coming from weekly, daily, and now this cannot have a bigger impact. That's why I always tell you, be patient and always trust your higher time frame, PDRA. Okay, so when you come here, want to show you my entry criteria here. So the target was this low, and we got there. Sweet. Okay, so we had on Friday, this is Friday last week, we had Monday, then we had Tuesday, right? Wednesday price came back. So in fact, the only point I wanted price to close below this low here. What is that? High, low, high, low. The last down close candle here, that is what? A mitigation block. And you see when the price closed there, it went up. Do you see that? It went up to the tip, right there, and then rode lower. So after that, I'm convinced that we are going lower, where my entry was this. What is that? A clean fair value gap there. So price came up there, and then sweet. That's all I do each and every single day. I don't chase price, never ever. I'm always patient to see price behave in a way that it can give me something that I can work with. And for you to do that, you have to have a narrative. You have to have logic behind why the market is printing the way it is printing. So if you go to our daily chart now for this coming week, if you see this one, price pumped really lower. Okay, now how do we get below here? This is, I'm not convinced that now, because it took out this, now it's starting to reverse, but rather I feel like we can get some retracement to where, look closer, we have this last down close candle, and also we have this inversion fair value gap. So we have this order block, 1 2 3 4, all this is an order block. So we have two scenarios here that you will have to go and be patient enough to consider. Number one, price can decide to come open there and then go lower, or number two, price can decide to open into this. I don't want it to open so heavy to fill it completely, because you see an inversion or balance price range, we want to see price remaining heavy below 50%. So first case scenario, order block and lower, or it can decide to open into there and then again lower. So I'm thinking of lower prices on dollar correlated pairs, all of them. Unless anything happens, I'm extremely bearish to this lows. Guys, be patient. Want to look at the last pair, Euro JPY. I don't touch GBP JPY that much. It did not give me clear reasons for me to act upon it. Alright, so you remember this. Okay? So you look at this one here. All these down close candles, or these wicks here, those are levels that I was super interested to. So low, price closed below here after taking out this high there, immediate rebalance there, price dumps lower. There's something good about trying to be patient and working with the weekly profile. So maybe you're looking at the daily chart and you see this was a gap there. Now look at what Monday did. So Monday comes up, rejects. Tuesday comes up, rejects. There was too much consolidation. Wednesday fails to take out Monday's high, and now isn't Thursday, price does what? Pumps into that key level. Now this forms a Thursday reversal there. You see that? Now you see we have too much liquidity down here. We have this low and this lows. Maybe I'm poised to be patient and try to look for lower prices. Patience is what has kept me in the game for long. You don't have to be worried too much, and you have witnessed that the moment you rush, the market is waiting to tell you, come to me, I want to wipe your ass. So always ensure that you are extremely patient. You better lose while you are doing what? Very pay. So you see, I have low resistance, liquidity runs here. So we have manipulation there, high, low, higher, high, breaker there, comes back, fair value gap, manipulation there, comes back. How did I take this trade? Here we go. So we had this fair value gap here after liquidity sweep, taking out the short term low here, and almost took out this low, but with a wick. Then price comes back. You see, so if you see this one as a low and then you want to see reversal, that means you haven't considered what happened from the higher time frame. So this coming week, so this was my entry in the 15 minutes time frame. You can go and check that. So in the coming week now, what I want to see, what is this? Fair value gap. I don't want this to be violated. Remember, these are 4-hour chart, right? So I want to see price open into this either Monday or Tuesday, and then we do what? Come down, take out this relative equal lows here. Alright, okay. So to me, this coming week, you need to be cautious and just take only higher probability trades, which is very possible. If you don't rush, but if you rush, then you're going to see dust, which we always say is very constant if you act impulsively. Always respond to what the market is offering, and I'm sure all shall be well. Guys, I believe this is enough for the coming week. Always try to have logic. Don't depend on this information only. You can only agree with this information if you are convinced at your own level, at your own capacity, that this is likely to play out. Otherwise, if you just trust that 001 just brought out some gems here, no, so you don't think anymore, then you are digging a very 46 feet grave to your account. I believe this is enough for this coming week. I have exams this coming 2 weeks, so you will see me on next week on Sunday, or maybe one of the days in between if I want to pinpoint something for you guys. But most likely again we see each other on next week on Sunday again, as I review this coming week's price action, what played out, what never played out, and then we so continue as always. So I got you all. This year you have to show up and make the best out of this opportunity that is given free. Don't mind about the online guys who are peeing on their pants each and every single day, worrying. You see, I have information that I believe I acquired through pain and sacrifice and sleepless nights trying to figure this shit out. That's why you see I don't really rush anything. I better miss a move because I know another move is also coming. So always focus on your goals. Don't be tempted to follow some guys online who are trying to tell you how they will make you profitable in a week. That is something where I come from. We call them stories a job. So I wish you well. Remember to subscribe to my channel. Remember to share, and also leave a comment, ask a question where you need clarity. I always come through and at least try to respond. If I don't respond here, my ex, I'm always active. We can meet on the other end and talk about. And then before I close, I love it when you do your analysis, you also share your charts. Okay, yeah, tag me along and share your charts, and let's see. And then there are guys who share the charts and then they delete them because they realize they were on the wrong side. That is not growth. You're just gambling. You've never seen me delete a tweet because it never played out. No, if we hit a stop losses, we hit stop loss. We go direct to attack profit, we go direct to attack profit. So don't, by doing so, you are suffering from fear, which you are not supposed to cultivate this early if you are still learning. I appreciate all your responses and your dedication, and I pray that by the end of the year you are going to be somewhere where you have always wanted to be. Always be patient. Until next time, be safe.